So I'm Professor Peter Allen. I'm head of the Complex Systems Management Centre in Cranfield, in the School of Management at Cranfield. What have I attempted to present? I've tried to show what complexity science is about and what it's telling us, which basically is telling us about evolution. It's telling us that things evolve qualitatively over time, and only during periods of stability can we hope to really understand the impacts, possible impacts of any metrics or targets or actions that we take. But that then, of course, the system's still evolving and eventually it will change. Also, people may respond to a decision to measure something, so that all becomes part of the system. So in some ways, once you opt for metrics and targets, you just have a different system evolving, and you want to try to make sure, I think, that people don't simply use their intelligence to fulfill the targets, forgetting about the original motivation that you're really trying to achieve in the job in general. So I guess other things that I showed were that there are technical areas where you cannot get by without modelling a hard mathematical, without using a hard mathematical. You cannot do better. It's really a difficult problem, and that in that case, mathematical modelling can actually really help you. But that in another example, I showed that it turns out that the resources available to a firm in that case did not explain the difference in profitability of the different centres, and what really explained it was the coordination of the resources that was that they were capable of, which was about experience, about communication, about discussions between the staff and the employees and so on. And also alignment in that they had an objective to either, sometimes with engineers it's to let the machine run without stopping. So that can be one aim. That's not, but if you're all aligned on, say, customer service, for example, then this is this turns out to be and one of the main explanatory variables of different levels of profitability. So I think I also said in the last slide that using targets has a good side to it, as opposed to direct orders or job description that's extremely prescriptive, because it does leave the individual the possibility of using their own knowledge of the detail of an area that they're concerned with to solve the problem, to come up to succeed with the target, and so on and so forth. And so it doesn't prescribe exactly what they've got to do. It allows them to use their initiative and their motivation. So again, so you come back, I suppose the other basic picture which that relates to is that you have to see all organisations not as mechanical systems which kind of run unless stopped, unless somebody puts a spanner in the work. That is not what it's about. They are really very sort of frictional systems with all kinds of problems occurring at all levels all the time. And unless people are thinking, are able to, they're allowed to think and respond to problems that are occurring, then in fact the system will degrade. And I think that that requires motivation. And in fact the leading indicator, as I know it, of profitability, the leading indicator is motivation, if you like, is staff morale and so on. So when that goes, the profits may not have gone yet, but they will go later. That's, I think, the lesson. So, of course, in health terms, that translates, of course, there are ongoing problems at all levels, micro, meso and macro, and it requires constant thought and so on, and sometimes models can help crystallize linkages, can be used as, if you like, conversation devices where people can share their understanding of how things work and build a more complete picture of how things work. So I think modelling is important. Using the model can be important, but the main gain may be in sharing the sort of creating the knowledge coming from different perspectives. So that was my message. Thank you.